Hey, just recording another video. This time we're going to be talking about Fire Emblem Three Houses classes. So this is a bit different from the most tier lists you'll see, but yeah. So I'm just gonna talk about each class for a bit and tell you which ones I think are the best and which ones aren't. Also, I only get images, so I'm going to be roughly guessing what each of one of these are, so I might have to double take a couple. Pretty sure that's Archer. Yep, that's Archer. Archer's a decent class. Bow range +1 is obviously going to be nice if you're using a bow unit. I prefer to just spam curve shot at that range though, because, well, your accuracy drops off. You should just master it for its ability. It gets you hit +20, which is basically an essential skill in Maddening. It's really good, just 20 extra hit. So I'd just say like you master it for its ability, then move on to like Sniper for the end game. It's fine. It does pretty well. Yeah, for what it is at least. Pretty sure that's Armored Knight, not Fortress Knight. Yeah. It's fine. I mean, if you want to like not take damage from physical attacks, go into it. But it's not going to get you anything good. Like, ooh, Armored Blow. You take less damage if you initiate combat, but only from physical attacks. And when you initiate, not on the enemy phase. It's probably bad, but it's like it's a stepping stone that you do to get to Fortress Knight, so it's not really a stepping stone to end game though. But it's okay, I guess. Assassin. I'm gonna say it's end game ready. Yeah, it looks like it's Assassin. Assassin's just a good, basically the better sword class in this game, unless you're going like a flying class, which is always going to be better until you run out of battalions. But yeah, Assassin's just good. It's got sword and bow proficient. He's stealth, whilst not the greatest like ability, can lead to some pretty funny stuff and cool strategies. There's a couple of cool and interesting things you can do with stealth, like throwing them through like a bundle of units as they all go to attack like your tank, so or other units, and they can just like beeline. Also, they aren't affected by terrains, like flyers. Also aren't affected except for like sand, they're affected by that. But like trees, they can just run straight through. I think they also do it with like the craters and lava in the Valley of Torment. But I might be wrong, like the crater tiles, not the actual lava. But yeah, so it's basically, I'm gonna put another tier in that's just like not the best endgame classes, but like endgame ready, but like endgame ready. And that's where Assassin's going. Alright. I'm gonna rank these things at the end. Think this is Priest. It's Priest or Bishop. I'll see if I can find Bishop. Would just say it's Priest for now because I can't see Bishop. Unless this is Priest. I think this is Priest and that's Bishop. So that's Priest. This is Bishop. The only reason you're going to go Priest is like, I would say it's like okay, I guess, like stepping stone. You're only going to ever go for like the extra healing that it rewards you for in like the early game until you can get into Bishop. I hope I got these around the right way. Yeah, Priest is early, Bishop's late. Bishop's just your best late game healing class. It gives you the heal +10 skill, like heal +10 more than you usually do. And then you also get like white magic uses ×2, so you can get double the heal spells, double the physics, so on. It's just a good endgame class, and this is just like a stepping stone to get towards it. You don't really care for Miracle, but you know, it can be a meme strategy sometimes, but yeah. Basically a stepping stone to that. It's not as bad as Armored Knight. I think Armored Knight's, I guess you call it a stepping stone for Fortress Knight then. Bow Knight, okay, I guess. I don't see any reason to go into like Bow Knight if you've qualified for Sniper. Just go into Sniper and get Hunter's Volley and spam that. It gives you the extra bow range, and it's a brave combat art, so it always goes twice. Bow Knight is just kind of redundant. It's bad compared to Sniper. Sniper's just better in every way possible, so I just say go Sniper. If you can qualify for Bow Knight, you can qualify for Sniper, which is just the best skill overall. So I just kind of think it's This is Brawler. It's bad. Not even its master, like its master ability is unarmed combat, which it allows you to fight with no weapons. But okay, that sounds pretty cool until you realize that like training gauntlets, which have better stats than them. So like, why would like training gauntlets have like 70 uses or something? So you may as well just have like a set of training gauntlets on them instead of unarmed combat. Although unarmed combat has like horrible accuracy, it's like 95 or something, and like 0 might. So I think training gauntlets might even have like more. I'm not too sure, but no, it's just don't. You're only going in here to like maximize your brawling experience gain, and you may as well just go into Brigand, which also gives you brawling experience gain, and it's just better. Talking of Brigand, master it. It gets you Death Blow. Death Blow is +6 damage if you initiate combat, so it's +6 damage on the player phase. And it's with physical attacks, by the way, it's +6 like strength. And +6 strength is really damn good. Like, this makes units from like mediocre to good. This will help you kill or maddening basically every time. I always go and put my like physical units through Brigand, even if it's a pain. Like, I get Dimitri to Brigand, even though he has a Bane in Axes. I get like Bernadetta to Brigand. I put Claude through Brigand. Byleth goes through Brigand. Everyone basically goes through Brigand if they're a physical unit, because Death Blow is just that good. This is Cavalier. It's okay. Could be a stepping stone to Paladin. I guess that you call it a stepping stone to Paladin. Yeah, and we'll say it's also like the only lance class in that area. Yeah, I guess that makes it like a stepping stone. What Paladin does, except for like female only classes. What Cavalier does is it gives you Desperation, which is only good if you're going for like counterattack builds with the enemies. Like, weird, I'm always going to like double the opponent, which will never happen in maddening. Assassins are going to outspeed and double you. So unless you're like doing some like weird things, you're basically never going to use Desperation that you get from Cavalier. Also, Cavalier has like a negative speed growth, so why get Desperation when you're actively decreasing your chances of doubling? Also, you're slower on your horse than you are off. Anyway, but you're basically just going to use it to like get the weapon ranks for Cavalier faster. Basically, no other reason to use it. I think it's just commoner. In that case, like, master it for its ability. Move on. Like, +5 HP. It's like, it's pretty good. Like, early game, it's like 5 health points is like going to help you live a bit longer. Early game, it's not going to be like an amazing thing that you're going to use for like the rest of the run, but it can be helpful in the early game, especially for maddening, where like you're like stingy on activity points because you're trying to train Byleth, but you're also trying to like keep your students' motivation up and increase your professor rank, and you might not get like a heap of early abilities, so +5 HP is always nice. Just like the little bit of extra survivability it gives you. Dancer. I'd say Dancer's like one of the best classes in this game. It basically you just give up your turn for one of your units to have a second turn. So you're not gaining anything net, but you're letting one of your better units have a chance to just like destroy the enemy. Like your dancer is typically going to be someone who struggles at killing or struggles at doing stuff by themselves. So you're typically not going to be killing with your dancer. Plus, they gain more experience from dancing most of the time. And you're just gonna like mainly give up your turn for like, I don't know, maybe you want Edelgard or Dimitri to kill someone else, and so you get your dancer to dance them, and they go do their own thing. But I'd say dance is basically ready for the end game because it's just also like sort of it's nice, like really nice. This is a dark. Pardon me. Do you know it's Dark Bishop? Yeah, Dark Bishop is like whatever. It has some Fiendish Blow built into it, which is like cool and all, but you probably mastered Fiendish Blow if you're going to go into here anyway, because Fiendish Blow is like wanted on all magic units because it's +6 magic damage. It's basically like Brigand Death Blow, but magic. Except this is like built into as a like skill of the class. It also has Heartseeker, which increases your accuracy, I believe. Apart from that, like it's pretty bad. It's like, sure, it's a magic class and it gives you miasma, but like, just use Warlock or Priest. The only reason you're going into this class is because you have specifically like a dark magic unit like Hubert that needs like the dark magic abilities, and Warlock doesn't help because it only has black magic. And Lysithea can't go into here. Lysithea is like probably going to go into Valkyrie if anything. So it's more like a male placeholder thing. It's not particularly good. I don't like it. Dark Knight far out. Dark Flyer is one of the best endgame classes for magic users. Not because of its skills. Transmute, kinda, you can like kind of cheese it. If you dodge, if you get targeted with a magic attack, regardless of it hits, does damage or misses, Transmute always activates. You dodge a magic attack with someone as a Dark Flyer, Transmute will still activate for some reason. I think that's a bug, but it does happen. Apart from that, you get Black Tome Fair, not Dark Tome Fair, black. So it's like helps you with your damage. It's just a really good class because fly classes are great. It's just like there aren't a lot of flying magic battalions. Like there is Constances, and that's about it. So I guess it's just but it's too good to put down here. It's a magic flying class. It's up. This is Dark Knight. I guess I gotta put it in here. It's like your only option for male dark magic units. Because apart from that, you got this, but that's not particularly good because it doesn't have Dark Tome Fair in my remembrance. It just gives you like extra miasma uses and not anything else. This gives you Canto, extra like movement, and gives you dark and black tome flare, so you're like running out, like you're lower on magic uses. But you're also like able to get places and not get dropped behind by the rest of your army. Not that I particularly like it's meant to be like a duel between magic and lances, like lances are backup. I don't particularly like that, but hey, it's like your only option for male magic users, so it gets bonus points for that. I don't think this is Mage. I think this is Wizard, yes. Warlock. I think that or that is Mage. Let's say this is Warlock. I guess it's endgame ready. You get black magic uses ×2. You get black tome fair. It's basically like your best option for just like black magic users endgame. Except for like Dark Knight extra mobility. But then you like run out of like less uses, so like, it's like a give a little, take a little. I'd say Dark Knight's probably a bit better. Despite its many problems that I have more problems with magic male units in general running, like getting the short end of the stick. But hey, it's a fine class. It will work for most dark, like black magic male units, unless you like want to go Mortal Savant, which I don't like Mortal Savant because dual classes are typically weird. I think this is Falcon Knight. Remind me if it's like, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's Falcon Knight, and then this is Pegasus Knight. So we'll say this, yeah, this is Falcon. Falcon Knight is basically like one of the two best classes in the game. Its mastery skill is like Defiant Evade, like Divine Avoid, which you can use in like some scummy builds, but like it's fast as hell, it hits hard, its growths are good, and like its speed in particular, it gets you like Lancefare, which it would be nice if male units could get into it, like Sylvain, Sedith, and Ferdinand spamming Swift Strikes with Lancefare, I guess, and like they do it in Paladin, but I just usually put them in Wyvern Lord. So yeah, like in that case, yeah, they're really good. Like flying classes are just real good. Like 8 move, solid speed and attack. Resistance to magic, only weaknesses, arrows, and you can dismount if you think you're getting hit by an arrow. Cool design. It's one of the best endgame classes. There's a couple that I think are better than it though, and we'll get to those eventually. Fighter, you should just master the move on. You get the strength +2 and then you don't stay in the class any longer. Unless like you're still leveling to 10. I'm generally going to say this, like all beginner classes, master them first before moving on to a different class. Because they just have like really good skills, except for maybe Soldier. I don't particularly care for defense +2. But no, you should master Fighter for its strength +2, then move on to whatever your intermediate class choice is. Grappler's endgame ready. There. It's got Fierce Iron Fist, which is a free hitting combat art with increased might, and I think it also has increased hit. And crit maybe. But basically, it's going to make you hit 3 times instead of 2. Even if you're like slow, like Gilbert or Dedue. You're basically going to be using this if you're a brawler unit. Even if you go into Warmaster, you're probably going to D-class back into Grappler if you're using Fist as your main weapon, just for like Fierce Iron Fist. But yeah, apart from that, it's like endgame ready. I do think that it's got armed combat, of course it does, and that still sucks. Just don't use it. Apart from that, it's like really nice, solid class. It's not that good, but yeah, it's real nice for endgame if you're just like punching things. Fortress Knight. It is also endgame ready. I'd say it's there, I guess. Fortress Knight gets a lot of shit because you're slow and weak to magic, but that's its entire thing. It's meant to be slow and weak to magic. You're meant to use it as a physical wall, not a magic wall, or expect it to outspeed anything. The problem comes is that like you're going to take damage in maddening because of poison strike archers and enemies just having insane hit and accuracy and damage, but like I've always found Fortress Knight like Dedue, Gilbert, like they always end up good if you train them right. And besides, like this is a fine emblem class, like this is something I'm happy to end in. I've finished multiple games with people just being in Fortress Knight. You don't need to go any further. Like you want to go up from Armored Knight, but you don't want to go to Great Knight because Great Knight's quite frankly worse than Fortress Knight. in some aspects. In some aspects, it's better than Fortress Knight. We'll talk about Great Knight, I guess, right now. I guess it's okay. Like, it has advantages over Fortress Knight, but it also has like many deficits. One being that you need to trade in heavy armor, riding, and I think it's heavy armor, riding lances. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what you need. And that's a lot of things that you gotta train. Like, you can't trade in riding and armor in the same time in combat, because you'll only go for what class you're in. If you're in a heavy armor class, you'll gain heavy armor. If you're in a riding class, you'll gain riding. You can focus on both skills outside of class. So, like in class, like in the monastery, but not on the battlefield. You have to choose one or the other. And a knowledge gem that you can get from Tales of the Red Canyon does help speed this up. I think you unlock that just before the Remite. It's the map like it unlocks like instantly following the Remite Calamity, I believe. Or maybe it unlocks that month. And you get from like Tales of the Red Canyon by opening the chest. And that helps some experience growth. But it's just usually going to be worse than Fortress Knight. Fortress Knight's usually better. I think Fortress Knight actually has like better defense boosts. Like the only thing of Great Knight is like you get more movement, but apart from that, is like got skeep costs. You're only going to really like be able to go into it if you're going like Paladin and then decide, hey, I want my Paladin to have more defense, but I also want to like give up the benefits of Paladin. So, I don't know. I just never found Great Knight useful. Also kind of looks weird in my opinion. But hey. Grimory's endgame ready. +2 white magic, black magic, dark magic users. Warp users use this if they also want to be offensive. So, Lysithia mainly is the main one that we're going to be talking about. Just gives her like, and also any units, but like gives them like double black magic, dark magic. So you got like dark spikes, you can use it 6 times. Luna, you can use it 4 times. Bolting, you can use it 4 times or 6. I forget how many casts the bolting has. I think it's 2 a base. Media, you now have 4. So on and so forth. It just increases your magic users. It gives you Defiant Magic, which you're basically never going to use. But it's cool if you want to like do some nice setups with it. It does have some utility. It also has like a boost to magic growth and like gives you like +4 or 3 or something to your base magic stat for being in it. So Grimory is incredibly good. And next up we have Hero. I hate to say it's endgame ready. Well, I think it's stepping stone or okay, I guess. I guess Hero has some like utilities advantage. It requires axes and swords, which is a bit like weird. It wants you to focus on swords, so it mainly seems. But like, let's just say you like went into brigand, then this is like a less time investment to try and go back into swords after you had to focus on axes for the start, because then you also have axe rank and sword rank, so it's easy to get into Hero. Plus, Hero has Vantage built in, which means you don't have to dedicate a skill slot to Vantage if you're doing like Vantage Wrath setups. So it can save you like a skill slot allow you to use something else where you would otherwise have to use Vantage. I think it also gives you Defiant Strength. I'm pretty sure that's its mastery skill, Defiant Strength, which is just a real good skill if you're going for a build like Vantage, Wrath, Defiant Strength, like enemy phase kill machine, which would be like also Desperation. So I guess we found out what Cavalier's for if you think you're going to be doubling anything as a hero. So maybe you like, I don't know, it's male exclusive, so you never, but like maybe you like went insane with your speed growths and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make hero Byleth with Wrath, Vantage built in and get your Defiant Strength to boost his attack more. Like Strength +2, hit +20 from Archer, and just like go absolutely insane with it. I've done it once with Felix. It was an interesting experience. He just kept getting speed levels and some strength ones, and I'm like, okay, why don't I do something stupid with this? And yeah, so Hero Felix went pretty well. I have a weird attachment to Hero because of that. It's got some, I'm gonna put it up because of that. It's got some interesting utility because it has advantage as a base skill. So I'll give it that. This is Holy Knight. It's bad. Like, I guess you master it for its ability if you really want Defiant Res, but Defiant Res and Defiant Defense I kind of think is stupid. Is Defiant Defense even a thing? Probably. Probably what you get from Great Knight, right? Tell me that in the comments. But I'd say that it is just downright bad. White Tome Fair, cool. I can use Nosferatu, Abraxas, or Aura, and maybe Sephiroth if you have that. Better. Like, it doesn't have enough utility to justify using it. Also, like Terrain Existence, wow, that's such a unique skill. It's always useful. I love it. Just stay in Priest. Don't bother going into this god awful class unless it's for like a meme, Holy Knight Wrath or something. Apart from that, it's pretty shit. This is Lord. When we say Master of his ability, Stepping Stone? Okay, I guess. These guys in here. I feel like that's more honest, actually. It's pretty good to be in. It gives you authority growth better. It also has Charm as a skill, which like increases adjacent allies' damage output by like just +3 damage. Or +6 if they're like doubling, if you like give them gauntlets. Like allies and gauntlets and attack next to this unit. So I'd say Lord's like pretty good. Stepping Stone is a weird way of putting it. It's more like a class that you'd put in for the time being before you can like get into like your end game classes. It's like a class that you like sit in after you've mastered what you need from your intermediate classes. Like once you've got your Death Blow, your Darting Blow, your hit +20, you just sit in Lord so that the allies get the bonuses and also to grind your authority rank up. Especially if you're Dimitri and you like want battalion rep advantage, stuff like that. We're calling this Mage. Master it for Fiendish Blow. I'm not really even tiering these. It's like these two are being tiered. These other ones don't really. Like you get tier, like ordering within the tiers. It's mainly just these ones. But yeah, Mage is Fiendish Blow. It's just magic Death Blow. +6 magic when you initiate combat on the player phase. It's just, I'd say Death Blow is better if you told me one above the other because like you have more physical units in this game than magic. But hey, Fiendish Blow. It's also on this thing. So yeah, I guess that's cool. Thief. Okay, I guess. I don't ever really use it. I just go into Mercenary if I want a sword like unit. And then like from there I go into like Assassin. So I guess you can like go Thief and like get the bow bonuses or whatever Thief gets as its other bonus. I think it's bows. And then you can like use it like that. Also, Steel like has some weird niche utility, and like on the Free Lords prologue, so Claude prologues, paralogs, so Claude, Dimitri, Edgar, they have like enemies scattered on their maps with stat boosters that can only be stolen with Steel from Thief, like as a mastered ability from Thief, or like it's just built into Thief. And like you have to have like a certain speed stat for Steel to work. So it's like really weird, and you can only get those stat boosters by stealing. Otherwise, they just don't drop them. It's really weird, but hey, I guess it has like a niche for that. This is Monk. Saying it's Monk at least. Yeah, master it for Magic plus 2. Magic plus 2 is just a real nice skill. Boost your damage, boost your warp range, boost your heal, I think. I'm not too sure how healing amount is calced, but it's fine. Like, you want to master it obviously for Magic plus 2. And also drawback can be nice. Mortal Savant. If you want to, go for it. I'm not going to tell you it's good though. It's like the end game sword class, but it's like slower than Swordmaster or Assassin, so like why? Looks like you want to be a mix between a physical and a magic unit. In that case, I say, why? Just use Trickster. Typically, I don't like mixed units for some reason, except for like Trickster. Trickster's pretty cool. I don't know. Oh yeah, Trickster is because we did Darkflyer, right? But yeah, it's got some niche abilities, I guess. I'm not gonna, like I said, I wasn't gonna order tiers, but like I guess this is like closer to end game than any of these other classes, like maybe Bow Knight. Myrmidon, plus 2 speed. Like all the other beginning skills, you should just master it because plus 2 speed is good. Less likely to get doubled, more likely to double, which is nice. Also more avoid. Also swap, I guess, does exist. It's bad though. This is just commoner, but you're noble. Paladin's endgame ready. I guess I'm gonna say it's one of the best endgame. Probably not. Yeah, we'll do it. Paladin, like, lands fair, just kind of spam it. That's all you really need to do. It's like one of your better options for like your Swift Strike units that like aren't Wyvern Lord, because like then you also get Lance Fair boosts. So it's like your best like riding physical like riding class that you'll be in. So yeah, Paladin's like a solid end game class. It's probably like the worst of the best. At least in this circumstance, but it's like one of your best mounted lance units. In that case, I guess it's also the only mounted lance unit that isn't like Falcon Knight. Falcon Knight does it. Anyway, the sniper is in the building. And they are insane with Hunter's Volley. That is all it needs to be said about this thing. Hunter's Volley. It makes you attack twice in a row before the enemy can, and it's got like insane range. Because you're always going to have like the bow range +1 because you're in sniper, but that's also added onto Hunter's Volley. Hunter's Volley, like, so you got like 2 range +1, 3 range. Hunter's Volley also adds range, so you're like +4 range with a bow. And then if you have a longbow, it's like +5, but why would you use a longbow? Just use iron bow pluses. And just spam Hunter's Volley. Hunter's Volley will just kill things. It is stupid. It can make bad units good. I don't know if I'm going to say it's above Gremory, or it's probably not even above Dancer. But it's just good. It's so good. Yeah, master this. Get Darting Blow. This is Pegasus Knight. Master it for Darting Blow. That's +6 of attack speed when you initiate combat on the player phase. It's just really good. Being able to double more often and get doubled less often, it's really good. Also, like, fun fact, Duritz can get it by budding talent and flying. That's just a nice little cool thing that he can do. This is Soldier. Same thing, master it for its ability, move on. +2 defense. It's fine, I guess. Mainly for reposition though. Reposition's great. It's like the best like movement skill. Like best movement combat art. Swordmaster, it's worst assassin. It like gets sword crit +10, I guess. And Astra, if you like doing like 20% more damage or something, and using 9 uses and lowering your accuracy but boosting your crit. Just use Sunder, I guess. What is this? This is Trickster. What is this? Mercenary? I'm gonna say it's Mercenary. Master it for Vantage, I guess. Vantage is a good skill. Like I said, it's got like some nation that's weird situations. I'd say it's like a good mastery skill for certain ways that you want to build. It's fine. Also, it's like your main sword level up thing, but yeah, I'd say it's like Vantage is worth it for your builds. Let's just get rid of the other like main things for like we already did Darkfly actually. Trickster is a endgame ready class, so it's a bit below Assassin. I prefer Assassin most times. Yeah. It's also got like stealth, which is well, like I said, I think about stealth. It's pretty interesting thing. It's also got Lucky 7, which is like +7 in a random stat or something at the start of every turn. It's got some like interesting things, like you might get +7 speed or +7 attack and just destroy the enemy, but you might get like +7 luck and it won't really do anything to your game plan. Also, foul play is like interesting for utility, but like apart from that, like it gets access to like white and black magic, so you can like use it as like a mixed attack heal unit. Is what I mainly use it as. Or like it can help with like armored and fortress knights. Like I said, I feel weird with mixed units. I don't particularly hate nor dislike them. I have a more likely trend to dislike them though. And I guess like Mortal Servant, like Mortal Servant much lower than Trickster. That's just a personal thing. And Valkyrie is good. Black magic and dark magic range +1. Plus Kanto. So now you have more range. You can give them like Versus or Caduceus stuff, and then they have even more range. You can get them to S in a skill, and they get even more range. It's just really good. It allows you to attack from some insane distances with offensive magic. It's really nice, I'd say. Valkyrie's like one of the better endgame classes. I think Darkfly is like better in my opinion, just because I prefer. Oh no, there's better magic units on the ground. Yeah, I prefer that. I prefer that actually. That's War Cleric. I'm saying. War Master. Endgame ready, but you also want to mainly master it for its class. But it is an endgame class. So it goes in here nonetheless, putting it above hero. And Fortress Knight. So main thing with this is you get like crit +20 straight up. War Master's Strike, which is one of its master abilities, is always effective damage, and it's pretty strong. You could use it to like destroy some enemies. And Quick Riposte is a really good skill. It allows you to double when an opponent initiates combat with you and you have 50% health or more. So it's like, it's pretty good. Also, it gives you like a massive health growth. Like it's like +30 or +40 or something. Health in your growth rates. This, I feel like is, what's that? I must have miscounted something. I'll look at you in a moment. Oh, that's Dark Priest or something. Dark Mage. It's bad. Anyway. This is like War Monk. Like, Yeah, I guess it's in-game ready. Like, the main thing you're gonna do is, like, get Brawl Avoid from it, which is pretty nasty. Like, Brawl Avoid, reclass into Grappler, spam your Fierce Iron Fists, dodge everything. It's, like, pretty cool strategy. I've done some weird stuff with it. With, like, Brawl Avoid, and, Fierce Iron Fist spam, and just, like, dodging everything. I found that, like, a pretty interesting way to make utility of it, but like being in it, you can heal. That's the main gimmick of the class. You can heal whilst punching stuff. Apart from that, I don't really care much about it. It's like interesting in concept, but like I don't know. Should have had like something more to make me want to use it. Warrior, you like master it, or it's a stepping stone. We'll say it's I guess you master it for Wrath, for like your advantage Wrath combo stuff. So they're right next to each other. Coincidence? No. I planned that out from the beginning. Okay, I can't even tell the difference here. I know one of them. I think that's Claude. I think that's Wyvern. That's Wyvern. Lord. No? There's Rider, Lord, Master. That's Wyvern Master. Yeah, do it like that. Nothing that's High Lord, that's Great Lord. I'm probably wrong. It's probably the other way around. I don't know. We'll do Rider and Lord. I think Rider is the brighter one and Lord's the darker one. They're both endgame ready. That's like the best endgame class for now. And then like that's just like just below it. It's basically good enough. Rather than lighter, like the difference between Rider and Lord is like I don't know, like one strength, one speed, and one movement or something. So this one gives like Defiant Crit, this one gives like Seal Defense, which are both like pretty good. I'd say Defiant Crit's better because like you can mix that in with like Vantage, Wrath, like Defiant Crit, Defiant Strength, like weird like enemy phase strategies, which could be interesting. I just like doing weird strategies every now and then because it makes the game more interesting. Let's mark these ones. Pomp and Circumstance is going to be the same for this, and this. Unless I'm mistaken by these two, which I probably am, but will ignore me. For now. Apart from that, I don't really care. It's like a stepping stone. All of them. Except for this, I'm going to put this separately. That's so good. Claudes are just way too good to be like put there. They're both like stepping stones towards what is going to be these classes. Because they are both good. Looking at them in a vacuum, they're not like that impressive. Like in a vacuum, since they like you just say they're just stepping stones. As their character, they're just stepping stones towards your master class, like these. Minus this, we're just ignoring this. We'll talk about Buff. Enlightened one. It's like good endgame class. It's like above assassin. It's like weird trickster. It's like better trickster. Yeah, it says better, just better trickster. I guess is the best way to explain it. I find trickster like better sometimes because like funny stealth, lucky 7 shenanigans. That's cool and all, but like just utility wise, it's just like this is better. Also, like it's mastery skill, like plus like enemies deal like plus 2 or 3 damage standing next to this unit. Is like charm, but you have to equip it. And charm is a real good skill, as these guys would know. I'd say that's about that, I guess. Right, let's talk about these guys. I'm marking these two last because I have something to say. Yeah, sure, I guess you're in-game ready now. It's not like your classes aren't particularly good, but you're in-game ready if you're using them. say they're like that or something. I don't know. I think Grapple's worse, I guess. I'd rather have a priest on my team than a Grailer. I guess that's how I'm marking them. Go on, you guys can go up a bit. Yeah, I guess that's where they go. Right next to inlined one. There's a bit of a gap between these two, but whatever. Most likely going to put Byleth in this. Or this. And if you're doing magic, then that, or both of that. Can't put her in that. Him. Alright, these two. We'll talk about Wyvern Master. There. Flying bow unit with bow fair and charm. It is insanely good. You only have like 7 or 6. I think it's 7 move from Wyvern Master. But like, God, is it good? Like, a flying bow unit has so much utility. Even if they don't have bow range, because you can just spam curve shot at this point. Also, Hunting by Daybreak makes me like figure this is like the best thing ever because I don't have to deal with the ground like with Dimitri. God, I hate Azure Moon for Hunting by Daybreak. But yeah, Wyvern Master is just like an insanely good class. It's like basically Wyvern Rider level. Like these two are kind of interchangeable. Like they're basically the same thing, just one has bows and is exclusive to claws. I guess that like drops it. It's exclusive to clawed. But if we're looking at it in a vacuum and ignore that fact, then I'd say it's better because bows are insane in free houses. And then Wyvern, Barbarossa. Look, I pretty much think it's the best class in the game. I'm probably wrong, and everyone's gonna like tell me no, but Wyvern Lord is better. I think Barbarossa's just cool. It's white, and it has bow fair. It has basically this, but better. And also, it gives you Wind God, which is just very good Deadeye. It's just accurate Deadeye. So, what's not to love about Barbarossa? Except the fact it's unique to Claude only. And that's what there isn't. But apart from that, yep, this is my opinion on every class in Fire Emblem Three Houses. From the best of the best classes, like Wyvern Lord, Vulcan Knight. Like these three are all interchangeable, depending on your opinion. I think these two are just better, though. I think this is like that, yeah. Yeah, so from the best of the best being like Barbarossa, Wyvern Lord, Falcon Knight, to like the very worst, like this class. These two are also, I think a Grappler is worse. To like the very worst, which is like Dark Mage for Poison, I guess Poison Strike. It's pretty good. Unarmed Combat and this thing. Holy Knight, unless it's like memeing with Holy Knight, I guess. You can use all of these as a meme class. Like none of these classes are particularly bad. That's why the question mark. But there are definitely ones that shine out above like the others. So yeah, tell me why I'm wrong about all of these opinions. Tell me why Barbarossa is the worst class in the game and belongs here, and why Poison Strike is actually the best skill and belongs in the best endgame class just for that. And tell me why Mortal Savant is just better Trickster and that I'm wrong and have bad opinions. And complain about why I've got like these two in Master for their ability, even though like you can consider this an endgame skipping like stepping stone. Yeah. Tell me why I'm wrong. And I will complain in the comments and never make another video on this because, well, quite frankly, this is a dying game because Free Hopes comes out. Just pushing this content before that happens. Yeah. See you in whenever I do another video.